everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. Welcome back for the Championship review for the midweek games this past midweek. We're in the middle of a 3-game week, and to be quite honest, I'm absolutely knackered by all of it. I was at Villa on Sunday afternoon, then we did Blue Monday podcast, then back to work my job, and then 2 games these past 2 nights, Brentford and Sheffield United, and Ipswich and Bristol City last night. So lots of stuff to talk about, but not a lot of sleep. And sorry, this video is a little bit later than normal. I prioritised having a shower over doing this. Still, the league leaders are Norwich. They went off to Hull on, that was a Tuesday night one, and came away with a 0-0 draw. So Norwich's winning streak comes to an end, but big picture, those Norwich fans have got to be super, super happy with, you know, where they're at. They're a point clear at the top. If you're going to go away, all the cliches, wet and wild on Humberside, keep a clean sheet, get a point. That's a couple of positives. Get out of there, get back to your home games and defend your leadership of the division. So big picture, Norwich fans will surely be happy, even if that brilliant winning streak has finished. One slight little thing I mentioned in the last video, actually, I got picked up by a few Norwich fans, about what if key players drop out. I wasn't suggesting the squad depth was weak. What I was suggesting was that key players like Klose, Leitner, Pukki, all playing well at the same time, moreover. So you're not just losing a good player, you're losing good players in form, if that happens. And Leitner was out on Tuesday, so we'll see if he's back at the weekend. For Hull, got to consider that a point gained. It's 23rd versus first when they went into the game, so you got to take a point there. They've moved up a place to 22nd now, and they joined, mentioned for the first time in this video, the 4 teams on 17 points. There's 4 teams. Excuse me, something in my throat. 4 teams from 23rd. 22nd, 21st and 20th, all on 17 points there. I said away win. I thought Norwich would get the away win. Nearly did with Tribal in the last minutes there. But I was wrong with my prediction. Off we go. 2nd position now. Back into the automatic spots. Leeds United, and it was Leeds 1, Reading 0 at Ellen Road. And finally, I've been talking about this, you know, the Leeds inconsistency. Finally, back-to-back wins for the first time since Game 3. Obviously, they won the first 3 games on the trot. So that was way back in the middle of August. Dallas with the winner, but the big narrative at the end. Penalty for Reading on 89 minutes. McNulty takes it, and it was saved by the oft-criticised Bailey Peacock-Farrell. So great job for him there. Reading, 1 win in the last 6, and they are also in the death group on 17 points down the bottom. All of those 17-point teams as well have got exactly the same record as well. I think 4 wins, 5 draws and 10 defeats. I said home win. I got it right. I'll have that one. 3rd place. So Borough have dropped down to 3rd position. They went away to Preston and drew 1-1. So both teams drop a position, but probably, knowing Pulis, probably be happy with a point. And Neil, considering Robinson went out injured in the previous game and they're lower in the league and they're defending this unbeaten run, he'd probably be happy with a point too. Brown for Preston, Tavernier for Borough, 2nd game in a row he scored, so good form starting for him there. And Borough, they're defending this hard to beat kind of record. They're trying to get promotion through this attrition through the season. They've only lost 2 games all season, but 4 draws in the last 6, so that will explain the little drop down of position. Preston, 17 points in the last 9, so I would say they're in tip-top form now for 9 games, which is a really good long period for them. Interesting to see where the run takes them. Do they, you know, you see some teams and they just keep it going and going and going and going and going. Obviously a loss will come at some point. Interesting to see where it goes and how they cope without having Robinson there, whether that starts to become an issue. I said away win, and do you know what's annoying? That was one of those ones where I had my little bullet points to do the last video and I changed my mind on the spot, and I shouldn't have because it said draw on there. So I was wrong. On that one, West Brom back into a good bit of form now. They got their third win on the trot. Swansea 1, West Brom 2. Swansea dropped to 11. Third win on the trot, as I say. And this is really interesting because rather than what we were used to earlier in the season, blowing teams away with goal threat and Gale Barnes-Rodriguez, they went behind on a wet and wild night in Wales, a substitute cliche for whichever place you're in. And Dawson and Higazi both put in set plays. And, you know, we saw Cardiff do it last year, just churning out the wins by one goal with set plays and, you know, keeping it tight and knowing how to win games. So that will bode well if you're a West Brom fan, because you're not going to win every game by, you know, these lightning fast counter attacks. Some are going to need to win like that. So very encouraging if you're a West Brom fan in this big slog that is the Championship. Swansea, 3 wins and 5 defeats in the last 8. Very, very inconsistent. Looking far too inconsistent to mount a playoff bid at the moment. You would expect them to be 8th to 12th based on the current form. I said away win. Correct. Again, okay, so Brentford, Sheffield United in 5th. This was one of the games I was at in this midweek programme. Obviously, match review video in the channel, so if you want detail on this one, check out the match review video for that, and thank you to everybody that has done. Important win for the Blades. They'd kind of dropped off a little bit. I think it was like 1 win in 5 or 1 win in 6 or something. All the top teams now, since Norwich have gone away and hit the 2 points per game, everyone seems to be in a bit more stable form now. You've had all the international breaks, and I think everyone knows the lay of the land now, and you're going to see that top 6 mostly winning and drawing most weeks now, I think. So important if the Blades want to stay in touch and solidify that playoff spot, or even better, they need to become a little bit more consistent. Really interesting game this. Brentford took the lead. Difficult. We saw a lot of quick-fire goals in this game, in the early goals in the wet conditions and whatnot. And there were 3 in this game. The third one to put Sheffield United in the lead, brilliant one from Norwood. As I said in the match review, if you check out our top players for each club, I had Norwood there, and he certainly proved that maybe with that goal. Brentford fought back, and it was Leon Clark got the winner there. So good stuff for Sheffield United. They will hope to now go on and surge on again, because we're expecting Leeds, Borough and West Brom to now have Norwich in their sights and go for them. I said that one would be a draw, an unhelpful draw. I was wrong. Just a quick note on Brentford, down to 18th, 6 defeats in the last 7. And that is virtually bottom of the league for Brentford, because they're too good to be down there, and they need to really put something together now, because as I said in the match review video, Thomas Frank's taken over the Dean Smith football. When it's done badly, it looks like some blokes just knocking it around very, very slowly, and that's how it looked, I'm afraid, on Tuesday. So they're going to need to perk up a little bit. Wow, what about this? I've seen lots of football matches. I've never seen a 5-5. Villa 5, Forest 5. Forest in 6th place. Villa around the edges of the playoffs, and they had a 4-2 on Sunday I was at as well. So that's 16 goals in 2 games at Villa Park. Unbelievable. Too much to say really. 3-3 at half time. 2 goals for Graben. So that would be, 13 and 14 games, I think, if I'm right for that. 4 for Abraham. 4 assists and a Thunder Bastard goal for Joe Lolly. Red card for Figueiredo. I guess you come away from that game not, being a bit ambivalent, thinking, well, I've seen something I'm never ever probably going to see again. So, tuck that one to one side and screw the result. But completely goes against Forest's tight defence type narrative. Probably fits Dean Smith's reputation a little bit more. I said draw. Obviously, I didn't mean 5-5, but I said draw. So there you go. I was kind of thinking more around 1-1 or a 0-0, but there you go. Moving on. Bit of a tetchy one here. Stoke 2, Derby 1. All sorts going on. Obviously, Gary Rowett moving from Derby to Stoke in the summer. And you've also got Tom Ince, who's a former player there. Inflatable snakes in the crowd. You've got Bradley Johnson, who's going to face a violent conduct charge for allegedly biting Joe Allen. It was Clucas for Stoke, and then they went down to 10 men. Etebo got sent off. Wilson got the equaliser, and you think, right, Derby 10 against 11. Can they now push on, win the game? But it's Ince, the former Derby guy, gets the win for Stoke. We've been talking for a while about the Stoke progress being, you know, there is progress there. There's evidence that there's progress there, and points are coming. They're just coming very, very slowly. But you turn the draws into the wins, and all of a sudden, progress arc's going to get a bit steeper. 1 defeat in 10, still 5 points off the playoffs. So I guess he would argue that he's tidied up and they're going in the right direction. Be interested in Stoke fans' views on that. Derby, I predicted this. They still seem to struggle with pragmatic, solid team-shaped teams. They've lost to Rotherham, Millwall, Bolton, and Stoke, who had all put in that bracket as those stubborn teams. I predicted home win. I got it right. Speaking of Rotherham, here they come. They're at home to QPR. This one was 2-2, like on Saturday against Sheffield United. This time, though, they were on the end of an injury time equaliser. 3 goals in the first 15. As I said, in a few of these games this week, lots of spurts of goals with players not seem to have been able to defend in the conditions reign all around the UK. Volks, Wells and Robertson, so it's 2-1, and then nothing happens until the 91st. It's a diving header by Freeman to equalise on 91 minutes. QPR 1 defeat in 9. They'll be super happy. They're still up in 9th. Rotherham 1 defeat in 10th. And Rotherham have got a little cushion of 3 points above that little gaggle, the 4 teams on 17 points. They will be well happy with being there. I'm sure they're really happy about not losing. They could do with a win just so they can say that while they're in good form, they put just a few more points on the board. I said draw. Rotherham always draw. I was correct. That's my 5th one correct. A good haul on the predictions this week. Millwall 0, Birmingham 2. I say that in that voice because Millwall still can't get away from the bottom. Great response from Birmingham. They're in 10th once again. You know, disappointing on Derby Day against Villa to lose 4-2. And they've come straight back, as I suspected they possibly would. Meredith own goal and Morrison with the set play at the end. And it shows a well-functioning team because the first goal is that front two combining, and Adams and then Djukovic is coming in forcing the own goal. And then the set plays, they're I describe Birmingham as direct and decisive rather than any kind of kick and rush or hoofball, but they're going to win a lot of games by being solid and being really good on those set plays. Morrison is one of the big guys who comes up from the back and he gets the goal there. Millwall, they just seem to be a bit stuck here. They're in the 4 on 17 points that I keep referring to. 1 point from the last 4 games is not good at all. After they had that 6-point splurge against Wigan and Ipswich. So, Millwall, I've been saying, come on, get some points on. And it's just, week after week, you see home games come and go, and it's just not happening. I predicted away win, so that is 6 correct for me. Unbelievable scenes. Wigan 3, Blackburn 1. Really welcome win for Wigan. They had a 6-game losing streak, possibly I think 5 or 6. And they've stabilised over the last 2 games. They've picked up that home form that was brilliant, and they've taken 4 points in the last 2 home games. That's great. Gary Roberts, James Vaughan. Byrne with an own goal that, according to the commentary I heard, was very much against the run of play. McManaman gets the winner at the end there. Good work from Wigan, and they'll be looking to build that home form again and push back up into more mid-table rather than lower mid-table. Blackburn, I always get them wrong. I really do. They've dropped out of the top half sort of for the first time. 1 win in 6. I'm wondering, is this a regression to the mean? Are we expecting them to be 12th to 16th, maybe 13th to 16th? We will see. I don't tend to be able to call their results, so probably get that wrong as well. I said away win. I thought Blackburn might come back with that one, and as I've alluded to, I always get them wrong. God, desperate stuff at Portman Road. Ipswich 2, Bristol City 3. Again, match review video this one, so check that out if you want to see me crying into my car. Must-win game it was for Ipswich. They had the lead twice. Sears gave them the lead twice, and just the defence really let them down. A couple of really heinous goals and maybe one unlucky deflection for the winner there being headed in. So I've lost a bit of hope since that game. Now I'd always thought, oh, you know, it'll come. Now I'm kind of looking at it from an Ipswich point of view, thinking I now would not be surprised at all if they went down. So I'd love them to obviously prove me wrong and get some results coming up. But looking at the fixtures, doesn't look much in the way of anything good until the middle of December. So, but then again, they're all hard when you're bottom of the league and you've only won one game. Bristol City, from the comments I can see on my match review video, fans still probably aren't having Johnson. They're saying it's papering over the cracks. It was a bit of a fortuitous win with 3 goals in 10 minutes. 10 goals with Aston Villa, wasn't it? So we'll see how it pans out at Bristol City. We know he's been streaky though, Johnson. So maybe they go on another win streak. I said home win more in hope than expectation there, and I was wrong. And finally, a team that had a must-win game and actually won it was Sheffield Wednesday. They beat Bolton 1-0, so they are in 16th spot now. Bolton in horrible form, still in 23rd. Bit of respite for Josh Luhukay. Leeds heads in the set play for the winning goal. Again, always say it. Set plays, Championship. Get them right in both ends and you finish halfway up the table generally, I think. Possibly a turning point, or again, like Bristol City, is the pattern going to continue? Have they once again, Sheffield Wednesday, come up against a weaker team in a bad spot and managed to just knock them down? We've accused them of that this season and haven't really been proved wrong so far. But good win for Sheffield Wednesday. They'll take that after 7. Yeah, first win in 7. Bolton, they're almost as desperate as Ipswich now. 2 draws and 7 defeats in their last 9 games. It's horrible form. And as we've mentioned many times, those first 4 games, I think they've got 10 points in the first 4 games or something around that is keeping them alive. They are also in the pack on 4 teams, on 17 points, but really not in good form at all. Bolton, so I said away win on that one. I was wrong. I was expecting some kind of chaos and a P45 for Luhukay then. That's me trying to get my narrative hat on there. Right, thank you very much for watching. As I said, it's been a crazy 3-game week. So this is Thursday night now. We'll do the predictions tomorrow. So there'll be a quick turnaround between this video and the next one. So if you're coming to it late, the other one's probably up. Trying to keep up, so bear with me. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're a supporter of a Championship team, please get involved in the comments. Get most of my information from either those comments or people coming up to me at games. I met a few people in the past 3 games I've been to, all giving me lots of information, which is great. And what would really help is if you could hit the subscribe button for more Championship content. Try and get to as many games as I can. A lot of them Ipswich ones, but we try and be fair and balanced with all the reviews, and there'll be hopefully predictions videos and review videos for each round of games, although that's getting hard in this winter period. Thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully catch up on some sleep now, and I'll see you again for the predictions video tomorrow. Over and out.